Good day, everyone. My name is Dashira and my metric number is 280519. Today, I would like to present about product liability. Product liability law refers to a collection of legal rules that govern who is liable for faulty or harmful goods, although it differs from ordinary injury law. When divided into a narrower scope, the product liability explains where a producer or a distributor can be held responsible for putting a faulty product in the hands of a customer. The law which supports the product liability is the Consumer Protection Act. Having said that, in order for product liability to arise, the item had to be sold in the marketplace at some stage, and in order for an injured person to survive a contractual agreement known as privity contract had to occur between the injured person and the product supplier in the past. When it comes to the discussion of who is responsible for the product's defect, in certain liability cases, the doctrine known as res ipsa loquitur transfers the burden of proof to the defendant. Apart from it, there is another rule in the product liability case, which is strict liability. In this rule, the plaintiff simply has to show that the product was defective, not that the manufacturer was negligent, because this principle eliminates the problem of the manufacturer's fault, allowing the plaintiffs to recover when they would not otherwise be able to. Although there are plenty of clarifications regarding product liability, the law of product liability is still complicated, and states vary in their willingness to hold a defendant liable for an injury caused by its product. The case that we are about to discuss today regarding product liability is Liebeck versus McDonald restaurant, and the issue of this case is whether the defendant is liable for the mishap occurred.
Hi everyone, my name is Rashina and today I'll be presenting the facts of the case. So Stella Liebeck, who is the plaintiff in this case, bought a cup of coffee from McDonald's. As she was removing the lid from the cup, the coffee spilled onto her laps and she was brought to the hospital immediately and was told by her doctor that she had a third-degree burn on a small section of her body. The damages that she had in total was under $20,000 and requested McDonald's for the settlement, but they declined the request. Her counsel attempted to reach an agreement with the fast food restaurant for $300,000. When the corporation refused again, they were forced to go to jail, where a jury rewarded the plaintiff $160,000 in medical bills and $2.7 million in punitive damages for the burn. Thank you.
Good day, madam. So today, my name is Adeshi. So today I'll be discussing the laws in Liebeck versus McDonald's. So there are three vital laws that were mentioned in this dispute, namely Product Liability Act, breach of warranty, and also tort of negligence. As for Product Liability Act, it was mentioned under Section 10 Clause 4 of the Uniform Product Liability Act. It is a type of claim that is brought against a manufacturer for the defect of the product that is sold by them. And then as for breach of warranty, there's two types of breach of warranty. It may be implied even express warranty. It was mentioned under Uniform Commercial Code that there are two types of implied warranty, namely merchantability and fitness for specific purposes. And for further understanding, we can look at the case of Monchat versus Alpha, Malaysia. And thought of negligence was mentioned Statement 2nd of Thoughts 158, 1965. And such claim can be brought against a person when a person acts recklessly, causing harm to another person or even property of another person. And in this dispute, gross negligence and comparative negligence were mentioned. As for gross negligence, it was mentioned under New York law. It's an act of a person where he deliberately act to the detriment of the others, and punitive damages can be claimed. As for comparative, it is an act where the innocent party will be held for the damages caused. For further understanding, we can look at the case of Hoffman versus Jonas. So that is all from me. Thank you.
In this case, the argument regarding product liability is that it is foreseeable that the coffee served will cause Liebeck get burned once the coffee accidentally spilled out on her, but McDonald still chose to serve the high temperature coffee. The jury determined that the coffee was defective product as its high temperature posed an unreasonable risk of injury, in fact formed the basis of third-degree burns to plaintiff's pelvic region. Besides, McDonald also breached the implied warranties of merchantability and fitness for a particular purpose. McDonald's would know that Liebeck was relying on McDonald's to sell her the coffee that she could drink. However, it failed to ensure that the products placed in Liebeck's hands met her expectation and are reasonably safe for the intended purpose. Besides, McDonald's action also liable under tort of negligence in this case, as the four elements which include duty of care, breach of duty of care, proximate causation, and injury are fulfilled. The jury also decided that Liebeck was responsible for 20% and McDonald's was responsible for 80% under the doctrine of comparative negligence. After this case, McDonald's has not lowered the temperature of coffee served, with the reason coffee will stay fresh for longer at high temperature. McDonald's now only relying on more stringently worded warnings on beverage cups. Since this case, major coffee vendors including Dunkin' Brands, Starbucks, and Burger King have been named as defendants in similar lawsuits involving coffee-related burns.
A very good day to Dr. Aspalala and my fellow friends. My name is Saranya Velu. My matrix number is 270635. Today I'm going to present about comparison of product liability in United States of America and Malaysia. Okay, first of all, in USA, if a consumer can sue defendant based on any of three types of product liability, a consumer can claim based on negligence, breach of warranty, or strict liability. When it comes to the negligence means if the manufacturer or someone else did not take reasonable care to make sure the safety of product. So the consumer can claim the damages based on the negligence, and the consumer also have to prove the breach of duty on the manufacturer part, and also he had suffered some kind of damages from the manufacturer's conduct. After that, in United States of America, the injured party can claim for compensation of economic losses. Injured party can claim economic damages such as for pain and suffering. Non-economic damages and punitive damages also can claim by the plaintiff. Now we can look at the product liability in Malaysia. In Malaysia, Consumer Protection Act 1999 enacted to safeguard the consumers from defect product. Product liability law in Malaysia usually based on claims in contract and negligence. When it comes to the breach of contract, the plaintiff will entitled to claim damages due to the breach of contract which is done by the defendant. After that, similarly to USA also, if a plaintiff has undergone emotional distress, he is able to recover damages under the tort of negligence. Finally, similarly to United States of America also, punitive damages can be recovered by the plaintiff, but punitive damages will not usually be awarded by the courts. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nugroho Pratama and my matrix number is 02117. The conclusion of our paper is we know that the types of the negligence are regulated by law. It was like the defect in design, defect in manufacturing, and adequate security warning and structure can all result in responsibility. There is also a charge of negligence for legal cover committed by someone who failed to take precautionary measures. It's rational to avoid what any reasonable person would consider a forest risk. But in the case of Liebeck and McDonald's, we believe that Stella Liebeck was to blame for the majority of the mistake, since it was not illegal for the McD to serve up the hot coffee. Another factor that contributed to the accident was Liebeck coffee in a styrofoam container between his thing. Even though it was evident that the thing was not the best place to put a coffee, particularly hot coffee, Liebeck should be more cautious. Particularly note that she should only wear the cotton type pan. McDonald parties serve coffee at a temperature ranging from the 82 Celsius to 88 Celsius, ensuring that the consistency of the coffee is at its peak. Consumers should be aware that the coffee is indeed hot, and that is just what they want. In addition, the cup of coffee has a kind of the reminder or alert on it so that the customer can be more cautious. However, it's possible that a main default lies in his limited notice writing and the lack of appeal to customer that the coffee was extremely hot. Furthermore, concerning legal comparison in Malaysia and in the US, it appeared that the latter Section 367 and the 68 of the Consumer Protection Act in Malaysia do not appear to be much different from the Section 10, Paragraph 2 of the Product Liability Act in the United States. So that in this case, if the law is interpreted as what is right in the strict manner, the consumer has the right to file a compensation in the event of the similar case.